Hi, Maureen. Hi, Satara. How are you? Hello, Shivani.
Hello.
Okay. I don't know whether Shantipan is not here as yet. Do you remember where we finished yesterday? Last week, sorry, in the students? Anybody remembers that? We didn't complete all of them.
I don't remember.
Hmm. Satya?
I think we went through everyone.
Okay, good.
I think so.
Okay, then we'll start from the beginning. I should write it down. I'm very uh,
It's a good way to test out the students.
oh, there's Shantipan. Okay.
And he is here.
Yeah, I can see her.
Mm.
Give her the, I've allowed you to record, Shantipan. Yeah, it's good. And Shivani, interpretation starting. Thank you, everybody. And I will. Hello, everybody. Today we are talking about Varga rules, Hora, Drekkana, and Saptamsha. And this photograph is of sun and moon, and I'm specifically uh, pointing towards one of the charts, which is the Hora chart. And this is me yesterday. I went to the local temple near me. This is the Livermore Temple, and it's so beautiful because there's a festival on just now. So I had gone to the temple. So I thought I will share the picture with you guys. So let us begin the chanting. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahman Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Om Brahma Murari Sripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Budhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketav Sarve Graha Shanti Bhavo Om Dadhi Shankatusharabham Shirodaranavasambhavam Namami Shashinam Somam Shambho Mukatabhushanam. So I just want to share. This is the temple where I went yesterday. I didn't share the picture of the Navagraha, but these Navagrahas are at the Livermore temple that I went yesterday. And so today our Ketu Purana or Vedvyasa mantra we are doing for Ketu. Om Palasha Pushpa Sankasham Taraka Grahamastakam Rodram Rodratmakam Ghoram Tam Ketum Pranamamyaham. So we are having a festival for Goddess Durga and the 9 nights of the goddess. It began on 14th of October, the day of the eclipse, and it continues up to 22nd, but depends where you are in the world. 14, 15 start, 23, 22nd, 23rd October end. And this photograph is of Goddess Durga. And here she is slaying the demon Mahesha Asura. That's the whole story of Navratri, where she fights against the demons. But we can also think about the fighting against our negative aspects, our negative energies. So it is a very, important festival of overcoming the negativity. This photograph I took at Chidambaram temple, and all the temples they'll have on the walls they'll have beautiful carvings of Goddess Durga. Even this one here, this is at the western side of the temple, and here she's just standing without being on the demon, but there's beautiful carvings of her. So as part of the festival, we are going to do the mantra for Goddess Durga. And the top mantra is the simple mantra that if you want to follow and do, you can do it 3 times, 108 times. Sorry, this mala fell here. You can have a mala and you can do it 108 times. And there we have. And then the other mantra is the long mantra for her. So let us just chant Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Dum Durgaye Namaha. Om Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trambike Durge Narayani Namostute. And so the courses are early bird is 21st of October. So those of you who want to join, and we are talking about the Vargas just now. So the best thing to think about the Vargas is the sorry, I'm just muting everybody. My book, because the Varga things we are doing just now is just the beginning, because it's a very serious subject and there's a lot of information. And for students who are starting the study of Vargas, here we are just starting the study. So you're getting some idea about what they are. So today we are talking about the Hora, Drekkana, and Saptamsha, 3 Vargas, and some general rules about the Vargas. And so the 16 Vargas, each reflecting one area of life. Each area of life has to be studied separately, but also must be connected back to the Rashi chart, as without the Rashi chart, the Vargas would not exist. So basically, the Varga chart is zooming into one particular area of life. Last week, we did the overall study of the Vargas through Vimshopak and Visheshika Amsha, but now we are going to study some individual charts. Parashara says that the Vargas where planets are in their exaltation sign, Mool Trikona, own sign, are auspicious. So important considerations in each Varga. Lagna Lord in D1. So the Rashi chart, Vargotama, Atma Karaka, Amsha Vargotama, Dasha Lord. Atma Karaka is the planet with the highest degree in your chart, represents the soul's mission. We will discuss more about Atma Karaka in detail in year 2. Vargotama is usually studied for planets being in the same sign in Rashi and Navamsha. We discussed Vargotama in the Nakshatra portion of the course. When planets are in the same sign as the Rashi in different Amsha, this is Amsha Vargotama, which shows an unusual strength, as it is your mission in the as if your mission in the Rashi is the same as the Varga in question. So, for example, if you have, say, a planet in a Libra, and in any of the Vargas, the same planet, let's say Sun in Libra, if in any of the Vargas Sun is in Libra, it's reflecting your Rashi position in that Varga. So that is called Amsha Vargotama. If it is in the Navamsha, then you don't put the extra word. You just say Vargotama. Dasha Lord and other sub-Dasha Lords' position in Varga give indication where the strength lies in the Dasha. They can be areas where Dasha Lord works well. Therefore, we can learn to focus on these issues. So, for example, in Dasha, your Dasha Lord is doing very well in the chart connected to career. So even if other areas are not working very well, then the Dasha Lord will be very powerful here. So Rahu Ketu Dashas have unusual effects as they join together in certain Vargas. There are 7 Vargas where Rahu Ketu are together. Therefore, anybody who is going through either Rahu Dasha or Ketu Dasha, it is complicated. It's not straightforward because of this inner joining together. Then Vargesh, the lord of the rising sign of the Varga chart. So whichever Varga you are studying, then the lord of that Varga is very important because he represents the energy for that Varga, and he can give you things connected to that Varga. So for example, Drekkana, today we are studying about siblings. Drekkana can give, if Drekkana Lord is strong, he can give you siblings. Just very straightforward. If he's weak, either he doesn't give siblings or he causes difficulty with relationship with siblings. So each of the Vargesh is called the ruler of the Varga chart. Then deities are connected with the Varga charts. These deities impart secret knowledge about the Vargas. Students should study various texts on Indian mythology to find information on the deities. We are not focusing on the deities in the foundation course, but what you can do is that you can start collecting your deities. These days, you don't necessarily need books to find out the deities. You can research them on any website, Google or other ones that are available in your country. So there's a lot of information there and photographs and things. When I started studying Vedic astrology, there were no photographs. Now, when I go to the temples, I always take photographs of all the various deities. So I have my own big collection of photographs. Navamsha is the most important Varga. Never analyze without studying it first. Navamsha shows the power of the planets. We are going to study Navamsha next week. And in year 2, we are going to study a lot more of Navamsha as well. House position matters. Placement of planets in Dusthana houses, 6, 8, 12 in the Amshas, they block the flow of the Vargas. Dusthana houses create challenges, but all of us will have some positions where planets are in Dusthana houses. So we, are aware of those positions, and when you are doing remedies, then it helps you overall. When you do one remedy, it helps everywhere else as well. So study the construction of the Vargas. Each Varga sometimes has 2 or 3 ways of constructing the Varga. I will be telling you, and we follow the construction as given by Sage Parashar. Then planets in Digbal show strength in the Varga. Yogas should be considered in all Vargas. Divisional chart modify the quality of the Rashi position, cannot take away the strength or the weakness. So 2 things I like to look at in the Vargas. I like to look at Digbala planets and if there are any yogas in the Varga charts as well. So the Digbala, just to remind you what it is, first house, Jupiter and Mercury. Fourth house, Venus, Moon. Seventh house, Saturn. 10th house, Sun and Mars. So first thing today we are studying Hora, and I want to tell you that again, emphasize that Vargas, you won't get everything in one go, but you'll start picking up things, and don't feel worried if you don't understand every point about the Vargas, because it takes years. People keep on studying, and then certain things make sense first time, certain things make sense again and again. So this is important. So Hora is 2 divisions of 15 degrees each. Rulers are the sun and moon, 2 luminaries that give light to us. This Varga is about wealth and prosperity. If you remember today in our class, I had sun and moon as the main deities. Hora is a division of the day and night. Day is ruled by the sun, night by the moon. So these are the planets that give light. At night, you'll get light from the moon. So here, these photographs are from Mexico. Actually, the Mexico sun and moon are very important. And here we can see the sun and moon. My friend in Mexico City, she has this in her backyard. She has all the planets. In fact, even I have the sun and moon in my backyard in USA. So that is good. So the Hora construction sign is divided into 2 parts. One belongs to the sun, the other to the moon. There are other ways to construct Hora chart, but we are following Sage Parashar's calculations. So this is the Hora chart, and I would suggest that all of you should make this chart yourself. It's okay to have it, you can print it out, you can do everything, but if you construct it yourself, it stays in your mind. And here we see that the Rashi is divided into 2 parts. So we always look at the degree in the Rashi, and here we see 0 to 15 is one part, and 15 to 30 degrees is one part. And Aries, sun is the first portion and moon is the second portion. Taurus, moon is the first portion, sun is the second. So basically all the odd signs, Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, etc., you'll always see sun is the first portion and moon is the second. And even signs Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, moon is the first portion and sun rules the second portion. You see, these days the software, any software will do these divisional charts. So even the phone softwares will do it. But it's important for students to work it out and uh, you know deal with it. I just need to, somebody's mic is open. Okay, I shall. One sec, I hope I haven't muted Shivani. Okay. Just be careful that you keep yourself muted, because if I hear the sound, it then disturbs the flow of what I'm saying. So this is Michael Jackson's chart. So basically what we are seeing is that we are deciding the degrees from the Rashi chart. So you see he's Aquarius and his ascendant is 16 degrees 24. So 0 to 15 Aquarius belongs to the sun. 15 to 20 belongs to the moon. Aquarius is an odd sign. That means its number is odd 11. So therefore you see that his ascendant and moon also, because moon is 21 degrees, will be in moon hora. So let us just look at this. So now this is the construction of the hora. In the software, it will say Cancer and Leo, and it gives houses as well. But actually, we don't look at the houses. We just say Cancer means this is moon hora and Leo means it's sun hora. That's all. We don't look at the houses. And here for Michael Jackson, you can see his ascendant, moon, and Mars are in moon hora, but he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Rahu Ketu in sun hora. In hora, Rahu Ketu are not really studied that much, but you can see that a lot of emphasis is on the sun energy for Michael Jackson. So here is how actually it should be: sun hora, moon hora, sun, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, Mercury, Rahu, Ketu. Moon has moon, Mars, and ascendant. So this is how it should be, but software, because they have to put the 16 charts there, they put it in the Cancer Leo situation, which is a bit confusing. So the main study in hora is connected to planets and their gender. Sun is male, moon is female. Male planets in male hora are enhanced. Female planets in female hora are enhanced. While hora is studied for wealth, it is other important uses like judging the inner balance of an individual. So I find that hora is not that easy to make, to decide about wealth of people. But this inner balance is really very useful, and for us to understand that. So a masculine planet should be in sun hora. Feminine planet should be in moon hora. Lagna in moon hora at the time of birth is good indication of wealth. They will be handsome, attractive appearance, popular. If they are female benefic planets in moon hora, the native will be fortunate, wise, talk well, intelligent, jovial, magnetic personality. Now, in Michael Jackson's chart, what you saw was that he has a moon in Moon Hora. And of course, he was very magnetic. People loved him and they had a follower. But Mars is also there. So he had detractors also. So, and he was wealthy because his moon is in Moon Hora, sun is in Sun Hora. Both are indications of wealth. But you see that popularity, moon gives the popularity. Not all of us want that kind of popularity, but that is there. The hora of the moon and even sign as Rashi ascendant will allow a person to acquire wealth and money with less labor and effort. Sun hora as the ascendant will earn wealth with their own efforts. If there's odd sign in the Rashi ascendant and the hora of the sun and male planets are situated, then native will be surprisingly wealthy with his own efforts. Diligence, get success, triumph in politics, enterprising, courageous, and angry. Why is he angry? Because sun is fire, so fire, you don't see a soft fire. You always see kind of aggressive fire. So then the main thing I like to study in Hora is the male-female balance. And this is Shiva Shakti. So they are the male-female, energies together. So Hora represents the genders, male-female energies within us. Jyotish has always seen a combination of these exist in everyone. What this chart shows is exactly how the planets work within the combination. Planets can go into male sun and female moon Hora. And central to this concept is this concept of Ardhanarishwara. So Ardhanarishwara is a form of Shiva and Parvati, Shiva Shakti. You see here on the left-hand side is all male and right-hand side is female. Maybe it's left is female and right. If you look from our side, that is how it is. So Ardhanarishwara, that means all of us within us have the male, female, but sometimes the balance is not correct. This is a totally imbalance, half male, half female. So the male planets and are Sun, Mars, Jupiter. Neutral or androgynous is Mercury. Female planets are Saturn, Venus, and Moon. So in this Hora chart, Mercury does well in either Horas, Sun or Moon Hora, but Sun, Mars, Jupiter, they do well in Sun's Hora, and Saturn, Venus, and Moon do well in Moon's Hora. But ideal combination is difficult to have because all of us have a bit of this, a bit of that. But what I'm looking in Hora generally is a masculine planet in Moon Hora causes inner tension, while a female planet in Sun Hora gives a more masculine expression. One of the key aspects we want to judge, is there an extreme imbalance in the Hora chart? Then doing remedy is necessary. So this is the chart of John Kerry. He's an American politician, and he ran for president in 2004. And he also then was the Secretary of State for Barack Obama, and he's holding some important position now as well. But look at his chart. All the planets are in Sun Hora. He has nothing in Moon Hora. So that gives him some kind of power to be as a politician or organizer, anything, but does not give popularity. You see, as a popular person, you need Moon because Moon is more popular. But here you see that shows a major imbalance internally. And then today we are looking at Adam Levine's chart, who's a musician. And in Adam Levine's chart, this is the Rashi chart. So Rashi chart decides what the degrees are not studied in the Hora chart. They're studied in the Rashi chart. And here we see, now look at Adam Levine's chart. He has ascendant and Venus in Sun Hora, but most of the planets are in Moon Hora. So Moon Hora makes a person very emotional. And as an artist, as a musician, he must be channeling his emotions into his work. And so it is important to try to find a balance. And Venus, which is a female planet, is in a male hora as well. So this is internal imbalance is there in Adam Levine's chart. And, you know, when I'm studying charts for people, especially from a spiritual point of view, or they say that they feel imbalanced, then I'm looking at that. This morning, one of the students, she had all the planets in Sun Hora, just one planet in Moon. And she said that I have always had to be a man in my relationship, or I have to do jobs that the men have to do. So this is very important chart to look at this aspect here. So the Hora chart deals also with the pranic energies. And many of you have done yoga, so you could think about this. So it also linked spiritually to left and right nostrils, Ida and Pingala, how the breath flows within our body. This is a big subject in itself. And, you know, you need to study it more from a yoga perspective, but I'm giving you some clues. So the Ida is moon and Pingala belongs to the sun. So here you see the Ida white nadi is flowing, and there we have the red. Pingala is red, it's hot. And in between is Shushumna. But we are interested in Ida Pingala. Ida is left nostril, belongs to the moon. It is the cooling nostril, emotions and calmness. So the Ida activation, if your Ida is Pingala in balance, then Ida will bring calmness. But if you have just got everything in Moon Hora, your emotions you're out of balance. And Pingala, right nostril, belongs to the sun. It's hot, aggression and activity. So like you see in John Kerry's chart, that aggression energy is very strong there because everything is in the Pingala state. So remedy for the Hora, and if planets are overemphasizing one Hora, you can bring balance by Surya, Sun Bhedan, breathe in from the right, breathe out from the left. So you breathe in from the right, breathe out from the left. Then if your Chandra is not working or you need to calm yourself down, you breathe in from the left, breathe out from the right. So 3 times daily, depending on which Hora is activated. And then Anulom Vilom and Nadi Shodhana, these are alternative nostril breathing to be practiced to balance the Hora, or after practicing Bhedan. Advanced yoga students can check which nostril is active, start practice from that nostril. This advice is from Shiv, my yoga guru. So right now, my left nostril is working. But if you say have anger issues and a lot of fire in you, then you should try to do from the left nostril. But if you're too emotional, you can do from the right nostril. But you do need a good teacher a good yoga teacher. And also, you have to do not just individual practice, it has to be part of the full yoga asana practice. Now, when I'm doing my yoga, Shiv always uh, tells me, now your left nostril is, because asanas also will activate the nostrils without doing the special remedy. But you need some good teacher who gives you the guidance. So I do like to look at this, and I have a page. So in the software, if you do two, you can see this John Kerry's chart here. So normally I'm not analyzing the hora for clients, but only I look at it to see if there's a extreme imbalance. That is the factor that I'm looking at. And so let us just look at. So today I don't think I'll be able to do all the charts. So let us just go here. So you can see here, this is Atma Jyoti's chart, and Sun is in Sun Hora, Mars, male planet, Jupiter, male planet, Mercury. So Atma Jyoti, you're a very rare person. You have all the planets in good balance. All the male planets are in male hora, female planets are in female hora, and Rahu Ketu don't count here, but they are in the Sun hora, and Mercury is also in Sun hora. I don't think I have seen a person with the full correct balance here. So this is really good for you. And we could say that maybe Rahu Ketu can churn up the situation sometimes, but generally your balance is very good. Inner balance is good. You see, these things, they throw up interesting situations and you don't know what you're going to get. So this is Emma's chart, and what you can see is Sun is in Sun hora, but Moon is also in Moon hora, and Mars is there. And this is more common, and here we see Venus, Mercury, Jupiter, Saturn. Out of it, Jupiter's a male, but Venus, Mercury, Saturn are female in Moon hora. So little imbalance is okay, but because the ascendant and Sun hora and Moon is also in Sun hora, there's a more kind of active personality that is indicated here. So this is Jennifer. And Jennifer has Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Sun in Moon hora, and Moon, Venus, Mercury in Sun hora. So this is like Moon is in Sun hora, Sun is in Moon hora. This is quite common because it kind of is like most of us will not have a perfect balance. But my study here is planets are in both horas. It is generally a okay situation. And all of us will benefit from yoga and from the breathing exercises and the yoga asanas. So any sort of small imbalances are easy to handle. And there we have now Junje, and again we have Moon Hora, Moon, Saturn, Mars, Sun. So Moon Hora is more dominant. Again, there's a mix of planets. Most of us will have that Sun, Moon are in Moon Hora. So you'll be more emotional as a person and more intuitive, but you know, you have to watch being too emotional. But there is a balance of planets. This is, you know, not exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, in the Hora chart, I'm looking for if there is any imbalance. So here we have Levant. And in Levant's chart, what you see is that Moon is in Moon Hora, ascendant is Moon Hora, Sun is in Sun Hora. So Sun, Moon are in their own Hora, but you see here the balance. A lot of pressure on the Sun Hora. And so therefore, you know, this can create an inner imbalance that is not visible by the naked eye. So this is important, I would say, to and this is not dependent on dashas or something. It's your inner balance. So I would say it is very important for you to do the uh, you know, the pranayama, and especially for you to be conscious to try to do it the left nostril, because the left nostril belongs to the moon, and you want to increase, although you have ascendant and moon in Moon Hora, which is good, but there's sort of more balance in the Sun Hora. So that is an important factor to consider. Now, one of my friends, she talked to me, and she had the opposite balance, too much in Moon Hora. And without looking at her chart, she said, my right nostril is blocked. So all the time she's breathing with the left nostril. So what she was doing was that she was activating her Ida and that emotional aspect of her. And she would start crying, and somebody said even little something, she would be very sensitive. So, you know, whereas the Sun Hora is more able to take these things, but you don't want to have the imbalance, so you have to consider that how you're going to deal with it. So before I move forward, does anybody have any questions, anything? So Atma Jyoti, do you find that you find that balance in you, or do you find easy to get balanced?
Yeah, I'm not very sure about this. I
Mm.
didn't know that before, but I think um I also lose balance sometimes, but like when doing adiloma, it helps me balance off.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
all lose balance because that is because of the dashas and the transits, but your inner structure is very good. So that's the thing. We can all lose balance because there could be a bad transit or a difficult dasha, or life is not acting the way we want. But
Yeah,
what
sure.
we, you know, that yours is very rare chart. So,
See.
yeah. Because I've not seen it, I think very rarely I've seen the chart where the sun, the balance is okay.
I was very surprised myself too.
That is good. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay. So then Drekkana chart. Drekkana comes from Drash and Kana. Drash means to darshan or view the objective, subjective, and spiritual. So, to see objects that are visible as well as hidden. Kona means corner or triangle. Drekkana is to know about siblings, enterprise, courage, confidence, and health. Actually, what happens with Drekkana is that people only study siblings in it, but Drekkana has got a lot of information. It shows your own courage, vitality, but also health issues. And one aspect of Drekkana is very important to study, and I will tell you. So Drekkana's construction is 3 divisions of 10 degrees each. Drekkana chart is calculated by linking the same elements. It connects the trines. So the first division is of any sign is ruled by its ruler. The second division by the ruler of the sign 5 signs away from it. The final 10 degrees are ruled by the ruler of the sign 9 signs away from it. So here we see the construction of the Drekkana chart. So Aries, which is a fire sign, the first Drekkana will be Aries, 0 to 10 degrees. Then the second Drekkana is Leo, the other fire sign. And the third Drekkana, 20 to 30 degrees, is Sagittarius. So each of the signs, the construction of the Drekkana is the same. Taurus will start with Taurus. The second 10 degrees is Virgo. The third 10 degrees is Capricorn. Gemini starts with Gemini. 0 to 10, 10 to 20 is Libra, and 20 to 30 is Aquarius. So again, you know, when you construct this chart, what you can do is you can put your planets in there. So for example, if you have a planet at 15 degrees of Virgo, you know that 15 degrees comes here 10 to 20. So it will fall in the Capricorn Drekkana. Suppose you have Saturn 10 to 20 degrees Virgo, it'll fall in Capricorn. So this is the same element is split into 3. So sibling gender is decided depending on the strength of planets, their connection to the 3rd house and the Drekkana. But sometimes, you know, people just look at siblings, they ignore the other areas. Mars signifies blood relationship. It rules blood. Mars will indicate male, female siblings depending on the sign, position, aspects to it. And Mars in the Drekkana is very important where Mars is placed in the Drekkana because he also represents, he's the Karaka for the 3rd house. So Drekkana is talking about the 3rd house. So if female energy dominates, then sisters will be there. Siblings' health, habits, nature, longevity may also be correctly analyzed. I never do this much, so I'm not expert at the Drekkana aspect. So here we have Adam Levine, and Adam Levine, if you see his ascendant, he has 3 planets in the ascendant. In Leo, ascendant, not 3 planets, ascendant is 1 degree 51. So it's in 0 to 10 degrees. So what would be the 0 to 10 degrees of Leo? That would be Leo itself. Then 10 to 20 is Saturn. And after Leo, the next sign is Sagittarius, next fire sign. So Saturn will be in Sagittarius, and 20 to 30 is Aries, and Rahu will be in Aries. And so they've split up. They look together, but in the Drekkana, they have split up. And here we can see ascendant Leo, Saturn in Sagittarius, Rahu in Aries. So the element is the same. All three remain in fire elements, but different expressions of the fire element. And in Adam Levine's chart, he has Mars in Libra in the third house. Ketu is there. Sometimes Ketu is difficult to judge because Ketu can either give or take away. Because he's a karmic planet, it's always difficult to know what Ketu is up to. Now, Adam Levine has, after when he was born, he had a Jupiter Dasha for a little while, but then he went into Saturn Dasha. And so his siblings would have been born in Saturn Dasha, mostly younger siblings. So we don't actually, I don't have he has a brother, two half siblings, one brother and a sister. But I don't have the birth datas for them. So it is difficult to make a decision about that from this chart. But what I like to look at the Drekkana chart, sometimes people will talk to me that they have difficult relationship with their brothers and sisters. And then I would look at the Drekkana chart to study it. But what I look at the Drekkana chart and I always want to know is the 22nd Drekkana. It is the 8th house of the Drekkana. 22nd Drekkana from Lagna is considered very negative for health, and this is for your health and is known as Khara Drekkana. Khara means salty. The lord of the Drekkana is known as Kharesh and gives negative results. So one of the reasons for looking at the Drekkana is that what rules the 8th house. And 8th house here in Adam Levine's chart is Jupiter. And although Jupiter is for his Leo Lagna a good planet, it is exalted in his chart, it's the 5th lord. But because he also has taken on the role of the 22nd Drekkana, you could say that the 22nd Drekkana Lord always has a sting in his tail, something difficult. And when the Dasha comes, we want to know about that. And secondly, if planets are placed in 22nd Drekkana, they also suffer. And in case of Adam Levine's chart, his sun, which is his Lagna Lord, as well as Drekkana Lord, is placed in the 8th house. So sun is not negative, but he's placed in an unsettled position. So I think if one thing you take away from the Drekkana, you look at this aspect about the sun be, not sun, but the 8th house ruler, to find out that, because the 8th house ruler may be a very good planet for you doing lots of good stuff, but then he has that extra role. And I emphasize again, extra role as the Lord of the 22nd Drekkana. And so let us look at a couple of more charts here. So what you'll do here is that you'll put 3. And so now we have the third. So let us look at Monday. So here in Monday's chart, firstly, what you see here is like some very important things that can be revealed. See, 2 factors are there, that firstly, 0 to 10, Libra will be Libra. 10 to 20 will be Aquarius. And 20 to 30 will be Gemini. Now, what you're seeing here is especially Monday's ascendant is 19 degrees 27. And that means that it's very close to 20 degrees. So right now, what we are seeing, the chart here, the D3 chart, is that Aquarius is rising. But what if this ascendant was, so it takes 3 minutes, 3:53. Now in Monday's chart, I have her birth time as 3:50. So if I ever see this, I would look at it to see, is this possible that Gemini is the Drekkana ascendant, or just see 1 minute. This is the time that I have of your Aquarius. Now, before making a decision about this Monday, I have to first look at your Navamsha chart as well, which we are going to study next week. And secondly, we have to look at, dates, if you have siblings or not. And of course, the 22nd Drekkana Lord changes. If Aquarius is rising, then Mercury becomes your 22nd Drekkana Lord. If Gemini is rising, Saturn becomes your 22nd Drekkana Lord. So you see, it's very important. And when we are looking at the Vargas, then we are then deciding something new that, sorry, I need to remove some stuff. There's extra information here. And yeah, all sorts of information that we don't need in this class. I was teaching the advanced class, so I had all sorts of other information. Yeah, okay, yeah, now we are okay. So anyway, so that in Monday, we will decide next week. So remind me next week. This week, we are not looking at that, because I don't just like to change your time just casually. I need to look at it, look at other things as well. So here we have Mary's chart, and Mary's Rahu Ketu planets don't change the degrees so quickly, but Mary's ascendant is 26, 24. So we are going to not worry about her ascendant for the Drekkana, at least. Later on, we'll see if some other Varga we need to think about it. But you see here again, she's got two aspects of Leo, but 0 to 10 is Leo, 10 to 20 will be Sagittarius, 20 to 30 will be Aries. So the ascendant at 26 degrees comes in Aries, and here we see that Ketu is in Sagittarius, and Sun is first part of Sagittarius, also joins in Sagittarius. So now the main aspect to study, of course, siblings, if you want to know, here what we see is that Aries is rising. Usually Aries will give male siblings, and but Mars is with Saturn. So Saturn can either delay siblings or give some stress in the relationship. And you have to see even dashas, what time you have children, you have to see siblings, you have to see from the situation in the Drekkana. And here we see 3 planets in the 3rd house, and 3rd house Lord is with Jupiter. So definitely, Mary, I don't know whether you have siblings or not, but this is indicated. Now, here for Aries, one of the complications for Mars is that Mars always rules it. Aries always rules the 8th house. So Mars is also the 22nd Drekkana Lord. And for Leo Lagna, Mars is the best planet. But being the 22nd Drekkana Lord, as I said, it has a sting in its tail. That means that there can be some issues connected to Mars that we have to, when you are in Mars Dasha, you have to see that. And let's just look at what Dasha you're in. You are in Sun Dasha, so Mars is not involved, but you had the Mars sub period a few days. Where did it go? Here it is. 2021, all of us were in restriction at that time, but you had Sun Mars Dasha. So you can look at that to see whether any specific aspect was there regarding the see, not always the 22nd Drekkana Lord comes up, but sometimes it's a small obstacle. Sometimes it can be some health issue that we didn't know where did it come from. So these are important things to consider. So now, Maureen, again, we have ascendant 11 degrees. I'm not concerned because for 1.5 degree, it'll take a long time to change the time. So I'm not worried about that. Saturn is 19. So they're both together in the same Capricorn Drekkana. And you can see here Saturn is in Capricorn. And then in the 22nd Drekkana, Leo rules. So it's Leo means Sun is the lord of your 22nd Drekkana. So Sun can create some complications by having the lordship. Even in your natal chart, Sun is the 12th house lord. So you'll automatically consider that as not the easiest rulership. But the 22nd Drekkana lord gives an extra kind of challenge to the planet. And so any questions, any comments about this?
Hi, Camilla.
Yeah, Satya?
So when you're looking at the Drekkana, this shows the relationship you have with your sibling.
That's right.
Or would you look at it as your sibling's chart, like to show qualities of your sibling?
It'll show the qualities of the sibling as well, but also your relationship if there are some difficult aspects in the Drekkana, and then you get that dasha. You see, sometimes people say, I have a perfectly good relationship, and suddenly the dasha comes and that issue starts. And it's not there in the Rashi chart, but in the Drekkana.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Maureen?
Well, since you have my chart up, I want to say that regarding siblings, that 6 years ago, I found all my siblings, including a full sister, I didn't even know I had because of adoption and whatnot, post-World War II stuff, put it that way.
Oh.
And so now I have 10 siblings that I only found, I only found them in my 60s, imagine. And now everyone knows everyone. But does that show anywhere here like a sudden emergence or hidden siblings?
Well, firstly, you know, Saturn is in the ascendant. Saturn always creates a difficulty in the relationship with, you know, some separation. But what is interesting in your chart is that the 22nd Drekkana Lord is the Sun placed in your 3rd house, which is the house of siblings. So 8th Lord is placed in the 3rd house. So that also is showing some difficulty. Although the ruler Jupiter is quite well placed, it's in the 11th house. So the presence of siblings is there and Jupiter gives plenty. But there are some issues. And if you said that I mean, that's a very unusual, you know, aspect for you. And we need to look at the dashas. What was the dasha running at the age of 60 for you when they all suddenly you discovered them?
Well, okay. But no, it was later. It was I'm 71. It was 6 years ago. So what is,
S-
do the
so-
math, 65?
Yeah, so 65, you were in Mercury Saturn Dasha. And then you got into Ketu Dasha. Ketu is karma, old karma that has come. And you see, I would say that Saturn is very important. Just look at that. You have Saturn in the ascendant as well, but you have Saturn rising in the uh, Saptamsha, sorry, Drekkana. So it's giving delayed results.
Big delay.
Yeah, it's
And
usually.
then suddenly,
Mm.
okay, thank you. I'll have
And
to think, I'll review this.
yeah, and you can look at also in your Rashi chart, Mars rules your third house, and Mars is in Libra in Jupiter's Drekkana. So Jupiter's nakshatra. You have to study quite a lot, but I would say that generally Saturn shows some delay. It's not that they were not born and they were not there, but you didn't know them. So that is really the aspect here. Thank you for sharing that. That's very unusual.
Oh, you're very welcome.
So you can also look at what the transits were happening at that time. This is a very important thing that we studied with Maureen just now, is that sometimes when you're doing a consultation or like I'm teaching, then you learn some very unusual aspects of an individual's life. And then it helps you to study and understand something more. And that there's something more than just the Drekkana with siblings and the story that what happened at the earlier stage. Were they older than you or younger, Maureen?
All some are older, some are younger. In my own family, I was always the eldest, and then 6 years ago, I became a baby sister. And now I
Okay.
have an older sister who bosses me. She's
Good.
lovely.
So I think the thing is this, that elder siblings are usually studied from the 11th house, but they are born before you. So we can't see them in the dashas because they came before you. But here you see the elder siblings would be Cancer, because it's 11th house, and moon is quite prominent in your Drekkana chart. So that means that the siblings are there, just not present, that you didn't know that they were there. So then the last one we are looking at are okay, so we just looked at his chart anyway. So we are going to look at the Saptamsha chart. Now, Drekkana, normally when I'm looking at Drekkana chart, I only look at it for myself and to know the 22nd Drekkana Lord. Unless people discuss something about their siblings. In India, siblings are very important. So everybody wants to discuss about them. But like living in the West and working in the West, it's not that prominent aspect that I do. But the Saptamsha chart I use all the time because this is about children. It's the 7 divisions of 4 degrees, 17 each. And Saptamsha focuses on the issues of Rashi charts, 5th house. It's about children, grandchildren, how many you'll have, and how good your relationship will be with them. So you see, it's not just having your children, it is also your relationship with them, their issues. It's a long story. So a lot of times people ask me about it, and sometimes you can see it very clearly in the chart And clients also come to me to ask whether they can have children. And so all those issues are indicated here. Of course, when you're looking for children, you have to look at two charts because it's not just from one chart that is visible. So why Saptamsha for children? Swambhu Manu was the son of Brahma and first of the Manus. Utanpada, Maharaja Priyavata were his sons. Almost all the Manus selected to rule the Manvantaras came from the family of Maharaja Priyavrata. So these Manus are progenitors. So you see, when you think about the world started with one person, and then the female was created, and then you have to see that they are, what's the right word, that they have to have more children. So Maharaja Priyavata had 7 children. Each of the 7 children had 7. So the 7th division was given to Saptamsha is of great significance. So the subdivision is ruled as thus: if the sign being divided is an odd numbered one, Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius, then rulership will begin with that sign. Thus, Venus, ruler of Libra, rules 0 to 4 degrees 17. If the sign divided is even numbered, Taurus, Cancer, etc., rulership sequence begins with the opposite sign. So 4 degrees 17 of Scorpio will be ruled by Venus, ruler of Taurus. Next division will be ruled by Mercury. So here is the construction of the chart. Again, it is important that you construct this chart yourself, and you see here that these are the divisions, the 7 divisions, and Aries, first is Aries, Taurus goes up to Libra, and then Taurus begins with Scorpio. So basically they're just following on in order. So if you make it yourself, you can look at it. Now, one of the things I've highlighted that in even signs, so Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, etc., the second Saptamsha is always the 8th sign from itself. So Taurus has Sagittarius, Cancer has Aquarius, Virgo has Leo, Scorpio has Gemini. So basically, when you're looking at the chart, especially regarding children, you want to see 4 degrees to 834 in even signs. And moon is quite key in the Saptamsha chart. Is the Karaka for motherhood. In weakness in the chart by dignity, house position, conjunction will impact the ability to have children. And this is specifically in a woman's chart. So, nowadays you can have children in all sorts of situations. You can have a surrogacy, and all those aspects also can be studied. Sometimes you have a strong moon and you have other issues. That means that motherhood is there without actually giving birth yourself. So that is something to look for. And then in order to study children, you must look at the Navamsha chart as well. So we will study Navamsha next week. So you study Rashi, Navamsha, and Saptamsha. So for Saptamsha, you check the 5th house ruler from the Rashi position of the 5th house Karaka planet Jupiter. If either is in 6th, 8th, 12th, there could be problems relating to children. It's not always having children. It could be that after you have children, there could be some other problems relating to children. So this is Adam Levine's chart, and what you see in his chart is that his 5th house Lord Jupiter is placed in the 12th house. And Jupiter is in an even sign at 5 degrees 31 of Cancer. If we know this division here, you see, where is it? Cancer, Aquarius division, that is the 8th from the Rashi chart. So there could be some issues. It could also show separation from children. And at present, that is not the case. But, that is something that is there. It could be even later on. You know how when children grow up, sometimes you can have a difficulty there. Now, in the Saptamsha chart, he has Leo ascendant ruler, sun is in Virgo, in a female sign. And he has two female planets in the 5th house of children. And the ruler, Jupiter, is in Aquarius. Aquarius is regarded as Nipumshaka, neutral sign. So generally, they're more female energy in his chart. And he has Saptamsha as Leo, Lord Virgo is female, 5th house Sagittarius in Saptamsha as Mercury, Venus. 5th house ruler Jupiter, Aquarius in the 7th. Aquarius is 8th from Lagna position of Jupiter. So Adam Levine has 3 daughters. First 2 daughters are well-known dates. The third daughter doesn't have a date of birth, but 21st September, the first daughter was born in Ketu Venus. 15th February 2018, daughter Geo Grace Ketu Mars. And third child is born in Venus Dasha. In D7, Venus is in the 5th. So you can see Ketu Venus or Venus as very clear. And he started Venus Dasha. He could have more children in Venus Dasha because Venus is in the 5th house in the Saptamsha chart. And D1, Jupiter rules 5th in Cancer. In D1, Venus is in Dhanishta Nakshatra, which is ruled by Mars. So the only anomaly here was why he had a daughter in Ketu Mars. But because Venus is in Mars Nakshatra, then Venus, planet placed in the 5th house in the Rashi, not Rashi, but in the Saptamsha, can give the children in Mars. You see, Mars is not connected to his ascendant or anything here, but because of the Venus's nakshatra lordship. And Navamsha may tell something else as well. So that is it for today. Now, I'm going to finish with now, I don't know, Myra, Mohini, Monica, Muthu, anybody has children? I think I can look at your chart for that. Okay, so let's look at Monica. And do you know when the child was born? So I'm sure you know. So we have the D7 chart here. So I'm going to look at the bigger picture. Okay. Okay, we're going to look at Monica and Myra, who has no children. So both things, that are questions are asked, and sometimes even late children is possible. But let's just first look at what are the aspects that can give Monica children. So let's just look at the first. You study the Rashi chart. So 5th house has got Saturn and Mercury, and Scorpio is there. The Lord of the 5th house, Mars, is exalted. So that means possibility of having children is there. Mars is in the nakshatra of Moon. And we have these planets. Now in the D9, sorry, this should be 7 here. Excuse me. You have to get the correct chart. So here we see Aries is rising. So Mars can definitely give children, Sun can give children, Saturn can give children. And now we want to see the dasha. So when Monica's child was born, it was born in 2019. So sometimes you don't need to see D7 chart, because 2017, Monica, you started Mercury Dasha, and Mercury is in your 5th house. So you don't need to look deeper to see Mercury can give children, because it is in the 5th house. And your baby was born in Mercury Dasha. And Mercury being in the 5th house can continue to give more children. Mercury, Saturn, Mercury, because a lot of times the sub period will not just be the dasha. You don't get dashas, but the sub periods are there. So in the sub period of various sub periods, it is possible to have children. Now, in case of Myra, who said she's 41, she doesn't have children just now. So here we can see for Myra is that in the Rashi chart, Sun, Mercury, Venus, definitely indicating possibility of children. But the Lord of the 5th house, Mars, is with Ketu. So Ketu can also reject children or not have children. And then in the Saptamsha chart, what you see is in a woman's chart, Moon Saturn conjunction is there in the Saptamsha. So that may have also caused a delay for you. You are at present in Jupiter Dasha. So Jupiter definitely can give children if you want, but it's and Venus is in the 5th house. Moon rules the 5th house, but it is that, you know, for women, it's a problem that they can delay having children, and then it's late because there's a certain timing. But definitely right now, Jupiter Moon is there, and Moon rules your 5th house, but it's in Scorpio with Saturn. So that could be one of the difficulties there. So, so that is it for today. We are going to start Navamsha next week. That's a major Varga chart to study. And look at that. Now, this morning, Myra, one of the students, she had a puja done to have children because she came from South India. So she was naturally connected to that. So her parents, when she was, she had 3 miscarriages. And so then they were told to do the prayer ceremony. And there's all sorts of prayer ceremonies you can do regarding children. But I have to say that I am very careful giving negative news about children, because I don't want people to keep it in their mind. And secondly, I've seen that all sorts of charts people have children. So it's not just that the chart has to be perfect to have children. So that is why I'm even more careful about it. So that is it for today. Any questions? Thank you. I shall see you soon and next week. Bye-bye.